Okay, so we're starting to go through the suits, and this is the first time we're going to go through the suits, and I'll talk a little bit about this every time. The numbers all mean a little bit of something. I'm not really big on the numbers as much as I am the actual card, but aces are always beginnings. Twos are always normally some kind of balance or coming together or decision making. Threes are mini completions. When we talk about mini completions, it's like an area has come to fruition. It's there. It's a mini completion, and sixes are the second one. Fours are um, kind of about holding on a little bit. And we'll see that as you go. Fives are usually not good cards. They're usually the tough cards of the suit. Every five in every suit is a tough card. Sixes are the second mini completion, and they are usually looking. They're pretty good cards, and because they're telling you you've reached a certain stage. Sevens are choices. They're really about choices. We'll see that specifically in this card, but in the other suits as well. We make decisions with the sevens. The eights are a new path, or not so much, but it's really about moving on. The swords, it's a little different, but it kind of is about moving on. Nines are your third mini completion, and they're usually the part of the suit that's the strongest to me. I look at every suit, and when that nine comes up, it's a big deal. And I'll explain it here, but you'll see in the other suits, the nine really is a great card within that suit. The 10 is the completion of the suit. So depending on whether it's cups or swords or wands, as you'll see. Then you have the court cards, which are page, knight, queen, and king. Pages are usually young people, even, really young, like kids, they can be, but they can also be a young female, someone naive. It can have all of that kind of persona. It doesn't necessarily mean young, but young at heart, feeling young, doing young things. Pages are also bring messages to us. So sometimes when they come up in reading, they could be a person, but they could also be that we're going to be getting a message. Knights are energy. They're usually a young male. Really go. Each knight is movement. Now, the Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Cups are not quite as movie. You don't see them in the card as movement as much, but they are moving. And they also can mean travel because they're on horses. They are a little bit older than a page would be, but not an adult necessarily. Or again, someone with that like maybe immature persona. Queen, of course, is a woman, kind of like reaching that goal of that suit in a woman's style, and then the king is reaching that goal in that suit as a male figure, or masculine versus feminine. So that's kind of how it rolls. And then each card, so this is the ace and this is the beginning. And we're going to go through other cards as well, because I like these cards and they show a lot and they mean a lot, especially in history. But I don't identify as well with them as some others. But I think it's important as we're studying to see where kind of the beginning, and this is probably the most popular card there is. The water's flowing, there's a dove, it's being given. If you look, the hand is coming out and giving this cup, so to speak. It's like, here it is. So this is a very new relationship. It can be a relationship for love. It can be a good friendship. It could be you starting a new relationship with yourself or seeing yourself differently. It can also be something creative. So it really kind of depends on the reading itself. But this is definitely the beginning of something very creative and loving, whether it be a relationship or a project. The two is about a close relationship. This is when two people meet. This comes after the one. It began, but now we're together. And now it's not that newness, it's more that closeness. And so this is really about a close relationship. It's a good relationship for sure. If it comes up in a reading, it's definitely good. It can be a number of different things, but it's definitely something from the heart and something that's important to the querent, whether it be a relationship at work, at home, or in their love life. You know, again, it totally depends on what we're reading about and what we're talking about, but it's also the togetherness of, anything that's close. So, I always see this as a relationship. It's going to be a friendship. It's going to be, someone that cares about you and someone that you care about a lot, and you're together in it. The Three of Cups is celebration. You've done it. You've gone to the point where you've created that relationship, and now you're celebrating it. And this is really, it is celebration for sure. It shows the three girls together with their cups lifted, and they're happy and they're enjoying life. However, keep in mind, depending on what the reading is and where this comes up, it could be about gossip. Three women together, chit-chatting, talking, kind of like water cooler. But normally I don't see it that way. I do see more celebrating in it. In a group, sometimes in a reading, I might see it as a group of people getting together and not necessarily celebrating, just enjoying each other's company. So it can be any of those type of things. It's just really the core meaning is celebration and enjoying life and enjoying the people around you and enjoying that whatever that may be. The Four of Cups, well, we're taking kind of a break, and we've gotten this new thing, and we've developed a relationship, and we've celebrated, and now we're bored. So this is really about boredom and being nonchalant and not seeing the things around you. This guy's sitting here, with his hands crossed, kind of like looking like attitude. He's being handed a cup, but he does not want to even take it. So it's a reminder of, take what you're given. Remember that when you're being given something, that you need to appreciate what you're being given. So this is kind of like a lack of appreciation, nonchalantness, bored, any of those type of things. He's got the Three Cups. He's ignoring those. He's ignoring that. He's just like, I don't care. So this is kind of an attitude card. That's how I read it a lot. It's like, I don't care. I'm bored. I don't want it. I'm not happy with it. But what happens too when you're looking at a reading, now, if you do this and you act like this, we're going to come into the Five now. So, this is a warning that, appreciate what you have or what you're being given, because this can happen. And the Five is about loss, depression, not seeing things clearly, not looking at the things you're supposed to. It's really about being sad. But maybe if you appreciated what was given, you wouldn't be so sad. And maybe you would have taken care of those cups instead of letting them fall. But when your cups fall and you have other two cups that don't fall, you need to remember those too. Those are still standing. Why are you so focused on that? And this is what happens when we get into a rut. Any of us, people tend to focus on what they don't have or what they lost instead of going, okay, wait a minute. To really pick myself up, I got to see what I have, which will give me the direction on how to pick myself up and move forward. So this is a great card for reminders too. So when it comes up in a reading, it can be just that, just a reminder, but it also can be a warning. The Four can be a warning as well. And I think when we do readings, that's when it's important to know what the next card is. You get the Four and you say, okay, like if you're going to keep this attitude, it's a warning that the next card is the Five. So you kind of have to think that way a little bit when you're doing readings, because that's how I look at the Four. It's leading right into the Five if you're not careful. Now, once you get over this and you're looking at what you have, this can be a good or bad thing. Here's the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups, this is really about sweetness. This card. However, a lot of cards go strictly that this is about being in the past. Something in the past is going to come to fruition. You're going to meet someone from your past. You are, focusing on something in the past. So it's really kind of about the past. This deck is a little different. I think that we see a lot of the sweetness, but they're young. So again, it kind of brings us to our past because they are young. These sometimes people have seen this as like a little old lady, but it really is a young child, and they're sharing flowers and they're being sweet, and it's sweet memories, and it's and that's another thing about the past. It is about sweet memories and good memories and loving memories and doing wonderful things. But at the same time, it's a reminder not to get stuck in the past. Don't stay there. So when it comes up, it can be all of those things. So take a look at the cards around you. Sometimes, it literally is, watch, there's going to be something from the past that's going to come back around. I actually get this card a lot. Um, and, but it's also just about the sweet memories. It's also a reminder. Don't stay in the past. Remember that you should move forward and come out of the past, which leads us to our choices. So Seven of Cups is all about that. Each cup has something different in it, and he's looking at it, and he's kind of in the shadows, but all the cups are illuminated. Now, which one is he going to choose? It's almost like a movie. What are we going to do now? So when it comes up, it is really telling the Aquarian that you're going to have choices and you're going to have to make a decision. I've read a lot about if you don't make a decision, then the universe is going to make one for you. So you might as well be the one making it. And that's kind of a warning as well. If it comes up in a future influence, it's, you're going to have decisions to make, or if it's past that there was a decision you had to make, okay, maybe you didn't and things didn't turn out quite the way you wanted. And that's a reminder. So when it comes up, it can be just that, a reminder. If you've got choices and you've got decisions to make, then pick your choice, because if you don't pick your choice, someone else will for you. And this happens a couple times in the tarot. And this is more of, on the emotional side and the loving side, but this is, about what am I going to choose? What am I going to take? Then we have the 8. Now the 8 is, as you see, his 8 cups are here and he's walking away. Now, if you look too, what meaning is that? Really, what's he giving us? And this is when, really looking at the card says a lot. Is he walking away, and is he walking away? He does have his head down, which I'd prefer his head up, because sometimes when you walk away from something, you need to have your head held high, because it's your decision to walk away. And if you're going to walk away, hold your head up, because you want to go in the right direction. So I kind of don't like that. So, he's not too bad. There's another card where it's really head down. It should be more glorious. It's sad, and I think that's what the cards are trying to depict, that sometimes when you have to leave something behind, it's sad. But I'm like, don't focus on the sad. Focus on what you're going to. Remember and learn from what you're walking away from. But if you're really walking away and it's really your choice, then that shouldn't be sad. Not to say it isn't, and not to say that you can't feel it. Just don't hang on to it. Look ahead, look up, move forward. So this card is kind of fun when it comes up in a reading, because it can mean some really glorious things about walking away. But sometimes in some Aquarians' eyes, leaving things behind is very hard to do. Some people it's not as hard, but some people it is hard. So this is kind of the hard part of it. And then that leads us into the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is really about it's wishes. Your wish is coming true. He's got all these cups above him. It's a genie. He's going to make your wishes come true. It's a really good card to get, because it says what you are wishing for is going to come to fruition. If it's in the past, it's showing that your wishes are coming or have come. If it's in as a synthesis of the reading, this is about your wishes, your dreams, your hopes, all of those things. They say it's one of the best cards in the deck. I don't think so, because there is a negative to it as well. Be careful what you wish for. So if you're wishing for something that really you shouldn't be, or, oh, I'm wishing for this, and then it turns out to be a nightmare, it's a warning too. Think about what you're going to wish for before you just do. Take that with some responsibility with it. And then there is 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups is really a very nice card. You've got the family playing, and they're looking up at the Rainbow of Cups. And it's really about that happy ending in a relationship. It's got the family, and we're proud of ourselves. And it really is about that. So when it comes up in the reading, I see a lot of that. It's not a new relationship. It's a well-grounded relationship. It's a good relationship. There's something very good about it. It's can be a little bit about the home, but more in a family loving type environment. It is about that finality of a grand relationship. You could see it as a wedding too, or, you know, just a really good relationship, someone that's been together a long time, or even if it's not a long time, maybe this is what the relationship's looking like in the future. It's going to be very happy and very honorable, just where you want to be. You know, this is the where you want to be in a relationship. Here is our page, and this page is going to bring us messages. He's going to bring us messages about love. He's going to bring us messages about new creative projects. He's definitely one that I like to get because it usually, because the page is young and because a lot of it is messages, I feel it's like a starting of something, that you're going to receive this message or receive this gift that's going to put you into a direction. The page is not on a horse, so he is young, but and it could be that, you know, the youngness, and in the cups it's a relationship, so he's young, so he's naive a little bit, which carries us into, like, you know, that kind of naive, you know, young love feeling, which is grand. And it's saying that maybe the relationship is like that. If it's a long lasting relationship and we're looking at this as what the relationship is, that may not be a good thing. But if it's a brand new relationship, this could be very fun and very nice. Also, if there is no relationship and the parent's asking about them, this is a good sign, especially in like the future or present, that this is going to be a message of love and caring. The knight in shining armor is what he is. He's definitely the Knight of Cups. He brings us love. He brings us caring and creativity. Again, he's all of those things, but he does it with a little bit more energy than the page would, because he's a little bit younger and he's on a horse and he's moving forward. He's moving into whatever he's going. He is also offering the cup because he has it handed out. So I do look at that a lot, as how it's happening. When he comes up, I think of it as a relationship moving forward, or you meet someone that's maybe a little on the knightish side, which would be a little bit younger than yourself, or in that respect. And it would be a medium new relationship. I don't look at the knight as a new relationship. It's kind of like something that's progressing, because he is a progression. And if it comes up as a person, I mean, it just could be that someone that's very emotional, not quite a king, not quite that persona of, maturity yet. Not necessarily immature though either, but still young, not taking charge as much in this area of life. The queen is a lovely queen, and she's the one that you want to go to when you need someone to pat you on the back, or to give you a hug, or to understand you. She's very much on water. She's very much involved in her cup. She's very empathetic, sympathetic. She is loving. She's caring. She's that I wouldn't call her a mom, because that's definitely the Empress, but she's definitely someone that you would want to go to if you need a hug. She's loving. She's caring. She has all of those wonderful qualities. This in a reading would be usually a woman. It could tell you that you need to have these qualities, or you did have them, and this is what happened. Again, what position does it fall in the spread? But it's not a bad card to get unless you're too daydreamy, and maybe it's warning you to not be so daydreamy. And then there's the King of Cups, and he is definitely the end of the suit. He's the strength of the cups. Although cups are not necessarily strong, they are caring, but he has that last final masculine. I've grown up through this. I've done all of these things. I know best about our emotions and our creativity. I flow on water. No, my crown does not stand on stone. I move along with the times. I move along with the things. I'm fluid. I move, which is kind of nice. So in some cases, this is very nice. It might not be necessarily what someone might want in a relationship as far as a man, because he may not be that stable because he's moving. But at the same time, he's also not so stuck in his ways. He can move along with things and be okay. So there you have it. There are all the cups, and I'm going to do wands next. So I think so. You know what? Let me take a quick look in the book. I'm going to actually go in the order of the book. So I'm going to do pentacles next. Thanks.